Hello and welcome to Threefold Herbal Healing. I am Leo Sade and I am a clinical herbalist. And this is Midweek Wednesday, where I talk a little bit about herbalism and health. So today I wanted to speak a little bit about sunlight and insomnia, especially in the summer when we have long hours of light that can disrupt sleep. So let's hop right in. So, when people speak to me about being connected to nature, I feel like they are missing the point because we are with nature. We are nature. Uh, Wilderness lives in the blood that runs through our veins and arteries, and the wind of nature fills our lung. So we are one. There is no connectedness. And one way to experience the oneness, this oneness with nature, is to observe our body respond to the changes in zenith, high point, of the sun as it changes from day to day and from season to season. So if you go out every day at the same time and look at the same point at the sun and see how it changes from day to day, from season to season, you will see that the sun is sunset, sunrise, and high point change from season to season. The wheels of the cosmic clock are reflected in those changes of the sun during the day and during the different season. And the Earth's the angle of the Earth in relation to the sun tilt changes from season to season. So in every season, another hemisphere is going to be closer to the sun. And the hemisphere that is going to be closer to the sun will experience more heat, longer sunlight days, and summer. The hemisphere that is farther away to the sun because of that tilt will experience less light, less warm, so cold winter. So, and that's have a huge effect on our body. One of the things that is very well known is seasonal affective disorder. It's a condition in which the shorter day, not enough light or less light in the winter lead to depression. However, did you know that the opposite condition exists too? So for some people, the longer days with fewer hours of sleep can cause sleep disturbances, and we don't talk about it that much. Well, we are not a culture that is driven to wear rest and sleep. Let's talk a little bit about the circadian cycle, what it is. So the literal meaning of the word circadian cycle is about a day. And it's referred to that internal clock that we have within us that regulate physical, mental, behavioral changes within 24 hours, so within about a day. It's influenced by light exposure, darkness, food intake, stress, physical activities, social environment, and temperature. Circadian cycles are present in most living organisms, including animals, plants, and microorganisms. In humans, almost every tissue and organ in the body operate on its own internal clock. So you can look at us and see how different clocks are synchronized with each other and with the cycle of day and night. The human circadian cycle is set by the first ray of the sunlight when the sun is rising in the sky, which color the sky in blue. The blue wavelengths trigger the production of cortisol in the brain, waking us up in the morning. Cortisol level continue to increase during the day until about noontime when the sun is high in the sky. As the sun starts to descend into the horizon in the west, cortisol level will start to gradually drop. And then you start to feel this tiredness. But at the same time, melatonin level will gradually increase. So those wavelengths of the evening create an increase in melatonin level, prompting you to yawn, to feel sleepy and tired. Now, the effects of sunlight on the body are really profound. But when the retina is exposed to sunlight, it directly informs the hypothalamus in your brain, and it triggers a chain of reactions. So first, like we said, it triggers the release of cortisol, which keep us alert. Second, it's increase your appetite and digestion because the body is expecting activity, so it's expecting to need more fuel. It's also increase metabolic rate, and by doing that it increases the body's temperature. Darkness, on the other hand, had really the opposite effect. So it causes the release of melatonin, which makes you feel tired and sleepy. It's decreased metabolic rate because the body doesn't anticipate any activity that will need energy. So body temperature lowers, and also appetite and digestion functions are lowered because they think the body think you're going to sleep. You're not going to cook a meal right now. So what's happening in the summer? Prolonged exposure to sunlight during the summer can delay melatonin production, and that will lead to delayed sleep. So people have hard time falling asleep in the summer. This condition, when people have difficulty falling asleep at their usual sleep time, and then therefore in the morning they have hard time getting up and starting their day, being in their job on time or at school on time. Now, people that already have an inclination to have any disturbance in circadian cycle are more inclined to experience insomnia in the summer. So some of those people will look like teenagers that anyway have this tendency to stay up very late and are having a hard time pulling themselves from the bed in the morning. Also, elder people that have a tendency for sleep disturbances anyway. Night owls, those are people that genetically are prone to be jet lagged. Those are the people that anyway don't feel sleepy in the evening and go to bed only at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And the other people are people with mental disability that is associated with circadian cycle disturbances, like people with depression that anyway have hard time falling asleep and staying asleep, and people with bipolar. So why is it so important? Why it is so important that you go to sleep on your usual time? You need about 7 to 9 hours of a good night's sleep to function well and for your body, especially your brain, to rejuvenate. It's important for the immune system, for the lymphatic system, for the brain. Sleep depth, the condition that people get fewer hours of sleep, is associated with brain inflammation, which lead to brain fog, memory loss, and dementia. It's also associated with mood disorders, specifically irritability and depression. Sleep depth is associated with metabolic conditions that are rampant in our culture, like increased appetite, sugar craving, insulin resistance, and diabetes. And sleep that compromises our immune function. And it leads to systemic inflammation or people that catch everything on the planet, like those people that have cold after cold all winter cold long. So what you do to support yourself when it comes to getting a better sleep in the summer or year round, basically, but especially in the summer. So you want to keep it simple in the bedroom, which means you want a bedroom that doesn't have a lot of distraction. So you certainly don't want a TV, but you don't want a bedroom that is cluttered. You want it really simple. You also want your bedroom to be dark, which means that you might want to consider heavy curtains, shutters, or even eye mask to keep the place dark so you can actually fall asleep. You want to create a routine. You want to go to sleep about the same time each day, year round. Your body will expect falling asleep and it will produce melatonin just because that's how it predicts it's going to be. You want to avoid stimulant, especially caffeine and nicotine, but you want to consider also avoiding herbal stimulants. You can avoid them altogether, or you can avoid them afternoon. So you can drink coffee until 12 o'clock noontime and then avoid it later on in the day. You can also consider avoiding power nap. A lot of time, power naps can rejuvenate you in the middle of the day, but then they disrupt your sleep at night. Consider exposing yourself to the sun for 15 minutes in the morning. Very important because it's really set the cycle and support it, so it will set cortisol level and melatonin level. You want to move. Movement is very important for sleep. Now, you want to consider what movement you are doing. In the beginning of the day, you really want to work your muscle and your cardiovascular system. You want to do stuff that exert your body and really wakes you up. In the evening, you want to do more gentle movement that can help you relax into sleep, like yoga. Yin yoga is great for the evening. You want to avoid screens. So the light that is coming from screens is blue light. It's the blue wavelength, and it's prompt the release of cortisol. So that's counteractive in the evening. You really don't want to do it just before bed. So avoid screens before bed in the evenings. Those are my tips. I know that the first impulse when you have a hard time falling asleep is to find the supplement, the medicine, the herbs that can help you go back to sleep. But I encourage you to look at that cycle, the circadian cycle, your relationship with nature there, the way your body moves with nature, and learn how to work with it instead of fighting it. So observe what your body needs and how it can adjust to the cycle of nature and how you can support your body, its need, and its adaptive qualities. That is for today. Have a happy summer. What's left of it. Here in New Hampshire, it's starting to look like we are getting into fall. So see you next week. Bye.